Welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio. Dave Morris alongside Jesse Riesenberg. Very nice to meet you, and thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
She's with Catholic Charities, which is among the organizations in Oklahoma City that helps with a variety of services. And we'll talk about a number of those services and how you help the community and how you can be engaged. And also about a video that was recently produced that has an organic look with a strong message. But first of all, if you want to set the table for us about Catholic Charities.
Sure. Well, Catholic Charities has been doing service here in the central and western half of the state for 106 years. So we're not new to the community and have been adapting to the different needs of our area for a long time. Right now we operate with 14 different programs, so that's a lot to wrap your mind around. But we have 5 service locations, both here in Oklahoma City, but then throughout the central and western part of the state.
So 14 different programs. That tells me that over the years that you guys have been here, you've identified a lot of needs.
Yes, that's certainly the truth. And here in Oklahoma City, we operate all 14 of them, including homeless services, case management, counseling, adoption services, immigration services, and refugee resettlement services. And of course, in the time of disaster, we do disaster recovery and relief. So.
I mentioned a variety of services available to all persons. Even though the title is Catholic Charities, that doesn't necessarily mean that you must be of the Catholic faith.
That's true. So 84% of those that we served last year were not Catholic.
Okay.
And it's a huge misconception about the title Catholic Charities, but the reason that we serve is because we're Catholic, not because we're asking you to be Catholic. We are informed by that Catholic tradition of service.
Very well said. You also mentioned the different sort of things that happen. We were chatting before we got started that it feels muggy on this Friday morning in Oklahoma City,
yes,
which makes us residents think it must be storm season. You guys were just doing a little bit of preparation for that.
We were. I went to a staff meeting, all staff this morning, 8:30, bright and early Friday.
Let's talk storms. Yeah.
Yes.
Business continuity. Right?
Exactly. So we did a continuity operations plan for in case of a major disaster. And so we went over as an agency, if this, for God forbid, was to happen, how would we handle it? And that's because we're ready to perform even our normal services, even in the case of a disaster.
Can you inform us a little bit? I'm just thinking of last year's marathon. The day before, there was this crazy severe random windstorm that hit downtown Oklahoma City. So there's trees down, power down, there's a lot of rain out there. That would affect the homeless people or perhaps make someone a little bit displaced for a little bit. How does Catholic Charities prepare to help?
Certainly. Well, our homeless services operation with Sanctuary Women's Development Center in Stockyard City, we're open Monday through Friday, so on the weekend it's always a little bit strange for the women that we serve. But the staff are so in tuned to what we're doing with our clients that we'll always make sure the camps are okay, that the other homeless services operations are doing okay, and the Catholic Charities needs to plug in any way that we can do that.
Tell me more about the sanctuary, because that provides a key resource.
Yes. So Sanctuary Women's Development Center, we have 2 locations. We have one in Stockyard City and one in Norman. And it's a day shelter for women and children. And the reason that is because we found that there was a gap in operations for women and children because they were opting out of services from other locations because it was a co-ed experience. And so, yeah, so the 40% last year, 40% self-reported said that they had experienced some sort of domestic violence or sexual assault situation. And when you're looking at a homeless situation where you might go into a co-ed experience, especially with children, if you have experienced that kind of situation, you want to be somewhere safe, and that's where we operate Sanctuary. So it really is a sanctuary for those women to come in and receive those services.
Because that removes a huge source of danger or stress.
Mm-hmm.
If you're worried about where you're going to live or where food is, that's kind of your survival skills and taking care of the kiddos. But if you're feared for safety, that's something else.
Right, exactly. And that's the whole premise of what we do in our services. Yes, we want to meet your basic needs when you walk in the door. We want to make sure that you're fed. We want to make sure that you're washed, that you have a place to wash your clothes. But then at the end of the day, like, we want you to feel safe enough to be able to stay, because what we do at Sanctuary is long-term case management. What we want to do is find a home for these women. That's our end goal, is to make sure that these people can find a place to live permanently, because the services are not just a Band-Aid for the short term, but a step in the right direction to be better forever.
Chatting with Jessie Riesenberg with Catholic Charities. I mentioned that video, Paige is back in the control room, if she can throw that out there at this point. Something you mentioned beforehand while we were debriefing was that everyone has unique stories, but they also have unique strengths. Tell me more about that, as we're looking at a unique video that I thought really was well done and tells an impactful story. But unique stories, unique strengths.
That's correct. This story is just one of maybe hundreds of different types of scenarios that might make a person homeless. The part about it is that it's told from the perspective of a child, so you kind of get to see what that person is experiencing.
It's almost like she's doing a video selfie.
She is. She is, and she's having a great time there at the beginning, and then you start to see her experience what the home life is like.
And she has a lot of questions too.
She does.
Mommy, why this? Why that?
Mm-hmm. And that's the perspective that you begin to understand is, as an adult person, you're the one you feel like you might be in control. Like, well, I have these bills and I might be able to do it, and I'm on the phone and I'm trying really hard, but you see in the background that it's just not happening, and they lose their home. And from a child's perspective, you're losing more than just your home. You're losing your friends because you have to change schools, or you have to be in a different environment, and you're losing your bed. I mean, everybody likes their bed. So
your life is completely disrupted. Your comfort is disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me more about the unique strengths and how
Sure.
you guys utilize the strengths of the individuals. I think that's a unique approach to this.
Yes. So what we offer clients at Sanctuary after their basic needs are met is through case management, which is an invitation to relationship with someone who can advocate and identify your strengths. Every person's situation is unique, and that means that every person's strengths are unique. And what we do is we find those unique strengths and help them set their goals based on those strengths to get them out of the homeless situation that they're in.
I'm assuming you've seen some success stories about this, that this lady discovered her superpower, if you will, and is on a path to a better direction.
Yes. Well, we have had certain clients, and this is a story, unfortunately, that we hear from a lot. Middle-aged woman whose husband passed away, and she didn't have a job, and she didn't know how to because she's never had one.
Right.
And all of a sudden, she's in a homeless situation because the person that she's loved and cared for her entire married life is gone, and you're homeless. But that woman has strengths inside of her. She has, skills. She has goals and dreams, and we can find those, and that's the best part about what we do.
So Jessie, how did you get here? Why do you do what you do, and what's your career path to Catholic Charities?
Oh, this is going to be odd. I went to Oklahoma City University.
So did I.
Oh, cool. Go Stars.
Go Stars. It was Chiefs back when I went through.
Oh,
It was
okay.
that long ago. But
Oh,
yeah,
well.
Go Stars.
Yes, Go Stars. So I studied dance and arts management.
Good.
And I took a class during that time on fundraising because, as you might know, the arts has a lot of nonprofits. And I knew I wanted to be a fundraiser at that point. That's super bizarre. But I decided that if I was going to help people, the odd strengths that I have as a unique individual were suited for telling the story and asking people that difficult question, because I know that you have a passion and that I have a need that I can connect your passion with. And it's not about asking for something. It's about making it possible for someone to facilitate their passion and help other people. And I kind of been on that journey now for a long time, and when Catholic Charities kind of came across my vision, I wasn't really ready for a switch. But God said, you know what? You want to help people, and this is how you're going to do it. And I am here. And I love it. I love it so much. It's perfect.
Very good, very good. It's a good story. All right, so how can people help out? You guys, I'm sure, always are in need of volunteers or looking for people to help out with things.
Of course. We do operate with a lot of volunteers at Sanctuary and in our Holy Family Home, which is our transitional housing program and homeless services. If you want to volunteer, you can visit our website, Catholic Charities, there you go, and let us know. Fill out an application that you want to volunteer and get some, do that. We have a need for hygiene items, both large size for Holy Family Home, because women need to take showers, and,
sure.
and you know, as we all know, it's not always easy to wash your hair. Then for Sanctuary, we do travel size because the homeless population needs a little bit more portable items that can be
makes sense.
taken with them, and especially in the summertime, it starts to get really necessary
Definitely.
to have some of those deodorants and different things like that. And then, of course, what we all really need in nonprofit work is those dollars to help us sustain ourselves and to provide case management for the women that walk through our door, because it is an individual person at Catholic Charities that sits down with that woman to identify her unique strengths, set her goals, and get her homed. And for that to happen, we need dollars. So
you can find more information at catholiccharities.ok.org, the website that you just saw there, on various ways that you can give and volunteer. You do have two major fundraisers every year. One's the Green Tie Gala. The other is Reds, Whites, and Brews, which is coming up this summer.
Yes, this is in late July, so you can visit our website and find that date and get some ticket information. It's in Stockyard City and benefits the Sanctuary Women's Development Center in Stockyard City. So it's a great opportunity to see the facility and to see the area that a lot of our women live in. And you know, I've heard from a couple just this week that they live in that area, and it's so important that they have Sanctuary in Stockyards because they can get to it, and it's important to see. So you could see that in July.
Very good. Again, more information on the website. Jessie Riesenberg, I enjoyed the conversation. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Congrats on your career and best of luck moving forward with everything.
Okay. Thank you very much.